I have learned so much about changing my mindset, changing how I view my history. And that's probably one of the things I want to talk about real quick here. My childhood into my teen years were filled with a lot of pain. Family divorce, not a good one. Molested several times. Just loneliness, living alone since I'm 15. A lot of loneliness. Still finished high school. Still driven to make something of myself. Hated myself. I felt like I didn't fit in. I was so filled with shame and loneliness and self-hate. I attempted suicide at 16. I didn't want to live. When I came to that fourth and fifth step, they were the most profound steps for me of all of these. The most profound steps. Because I promise you, if any of you struggle with your fourth and fifth and looking back at the wreckage of the past, my past today, honestly, are the greatest lights and teachers of my life. In there are the greatest lessons to be the man I want to be. In there are the greatest lessons for me to help someone else who's suffering. In there are the greatest lessons of what and who I don't want to do and be ever again. No, those are all lights in my life now. My greatest assets are in what I looked at, the dungeon of the past, the place I was so fearful to look at. I'm grateful for all that today. I am certainly a grateful alcoholic. I am a grateful alcoholic. I really am. God, I never thought I'd say that. Those that said that, I wanted to just get up in the middle of a meeting and smack them a little. How are you grateful to be this? But if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have learned to live on such a spiritual plane of these principles. I wouldn't have learned to be so connected to my higher power. My sponsor told me early when I was incarcerated, he goes, the day is going to come when you click your heels like Dorothy and you're home. And he meant home with God. Because the illusion that I had was that I was not connected to people. I was not connected to God. I was not connected to purpose. I was not connected to value. But that was all my ego. And what I did was I wanted more and more and more of everything else to get that connection of value and love and being filled with God, sort of thing. And he said that ego's going to die one day when you click your heels like Dorothy. And you're going to realize everything you need is right in here. Because if success and money was a means to an end, I would have been sober and happy. That success and money did not bring that to me. Now, I still want success and money, but it's not going to define who I am anymore. So when I finally, 3 years after I waved my white flag, I got and diligently practicing these principles, diligently getting into the steps, diligently connecting to God, diligently praying and meditating, diligently taking in knowledge and practicing and applying that knowledge diligently in a very hard, dark, challenging, miserable environment. I went out to rec and I just quiet out in the field and I just looked up to that like the sun and just felt the sun in my face. And then I swear to God, I'm not lying. I know it sounds so corny, but I'm just real. That rush of peace came over me. I don't know if anyone can relate. And it never left. It was the weirdest thing. It never left. And my sponsor said I clicked my heels. Because Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, what was she doing? She was following this road she thought she had to take to meet this magician who'd magically send her home, and everything was an illusion. It was all an illusion. That's the ego. She could have been home anytime they click in the heels. The illusion I had was I had to do all these things to get filled with God or be full and complete. It was all an illusion. Just had to click my heels because it's already here. 1 year before my release, my mother died. Called my brother one morning. He said she passed away last night in bed. Unexpected from cardiac arrest. 2.5 months ago, my father passed away, who was my best friend. Best friend. My person. 5 years ago, this week, when I got out of prison, I didn't have anything. I had a couple $1,000s in the bank. I had no money. I had no car, suspended license, no employment. I'm gay. I'm a felon. Spring Hill. That says it all right there. And I'm from Miami. My family lives here. They all said to me, we're not going to give you a penny. We'll give you a roof over your head for a year or two, but that's it. You got to get on your feet. And because I live this way, and I'm connected to God, and I practice these principles, and I have friends here who know me, and I practice what I preach to the very, very best of my ability. Now, I'm grateful I got friends that will call me out when I don't practice what I preach. Sometimes they remind me of what I tell everyone else, because I get stuck, right? And I congratulate myself for being imperfect. I congratulate myself that I am still a work in progress, not perfect, because that's what this is, progress, not perfection. Because I practice the principles, I live connected to God 24 hours a day. This faith and my connection to God is in and through me, like the big book says, 24 hours a day or we perish. And I believe that. Because of living spiritually, I have rebuilt an amazing career. I have my first book published. It's called The Art of Self-Mastery. Imagine that. I'm not promoting. I'm building a speaking business now. I have a beautiful little house. I got a Jeep and a Mazda Miata. They're a little old, they're used, weren't very expensive, but I love Jeeps. I was able to get some of that stuff. It doesn't if I lose the Jeep, I lose the Jeep. If I lose the car, I lose the car. If I lose the house, I lose the house. Because if I'm connected to God, and I'm a man of integrity, and I live the principles, there is nothing that can truly harm me. If there's no enemy within, no enemy in the outside can cause me harm.